What's up, everybody? Welcome to another edition of 21 Questions. My name is Craig Stout. Joining me, one of my pals, one of the OGs, one of the people who knows kind of how to cover this football team when they suck. His Dirkness. How you doing, buddy?
Sup? Yeah, it's no surprise they brought in the veteran crew this week.
It's true.
To clean up the mess. The only two that could handle a messy Chiefs squad. These new guys here on the network. They don't know what it's like. They don't know what it was like.
They don't know walking uphill both ways.
This is
covering
nothing.
2012. I mean, this is they're 6-8 right now. We would have killed for 6-8 in 2012. Romeo Crennel might still have a job if they were 6-8 in 2012.
What's the Batman line? We were born in the dark or whatever.
We were born in the darkness. We absolutely were. I mean, I was born in 1983. I was born the year that they drafted Todd Blackledge. And I toiled through this team being gun shy until Patrick Mahomes to draft a first round quarterback. So yeah, we were born in the darkness here. For those of you tuning in who have not heard a 21 Questions before, this is the question and answer podcast, typically about the Kansas City Chiefs. We'll cover a few more topics towards the end of the podcast here, but they are submitted by the folks in the KCSN Discord. You can get that if you subscribe to the KCSN newsletter. So hit the link down in the description of this, and you too can sign up. You get the KCSN newsletter. You get access to the KCSN Discord. There's going to be all kinds of off-season content on their activities. I know that the KCSN Discord, every single off-season since KCSN has been a thing, has done a full mock off-season where different members become general managers for different football teams. We set a cutoff date and then go forward and off-season plan. So if you want to really own a team, they are always looking for people to participate in that activity. It's really fun to watch, our armchair GMs wheel and deal all off season, trading big name stars, getting first round picks, and then simulating a full draft with those picks and kind of seeing how you do. It's a fun little activity that they get.
That sounds amazing. I mean, I can use my Madden strategy, get 20 first round picks for 1 year.
For 1 year. Yeah. You only got to shepherd them through the offseason, Dirk. You can trade away the future. I mean, who cares? Take the stance of a general manager that is going to get fired in 2027 and just trade them all.
Yeah, I mean,
do the thing.
Can I take over the Broncos and purposely tank them? Is that an option that's on the table?
That is the thing. We do make people say that they're going to give their best effort as much as we would really. Maybe that changes this season.
I'm incompetent. It's not my fault. It's not on purpose.
We have been very kind so far. It's been easy to be kind when the Kansas City Chiefs have been more or less in the Super Bowl the entirety of KCSN's existence here. Maybe those rules change a little bit this year, and we feel a little bit better about tanking the Broncos or the Bills or, I don't know, the Bengals, because why not? Screw them.
Time to throw the Chiefs low. Throw them a little help.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
We need it. We need the charity.
Right. We are going to ask these questions from the KCSN Discord, and we'll answer them here. So let's dive right in here. First one, I think the question that's been on everybody's mind.
Oh, no.
All week long from Chiefs Gap here. He asks, why should I watch the rest of the season, Dirk?
Why should I watch the rest of the season? That's a good question.
We've been born in the darkness here. We've been here before. Why do you watch the rest of the season at this point?
Well, I honestly don't know if they'll beat the Titans or the Raiders. I think that's about the level that they'll be at. So that's kind of interesting. The Christmas Day game against the Broncos. That's going to be
my goodness.
It's going to be. It's gonna be like the season finale last year, but it won't be completely not matter. It won't be on purpose that we're losing this time. So East, that one could be maybe we could play spoiler. Actually, that would be a lot of fun if we could prevent the Broncos from getting the 1 seed. That would be, worth losing a couple draft slot positions. So maybe my answer is that I don't know if it's possible. I don't know who's coming back or not, but I mean, Minshew behind a broken offensive line with a bunch of weapons who are out injured. It does not, with an offense that's already been struggling, it doesn't instill a lot of confidence. But, Andy's always been really good with backup quarterbacks. So maybe he can, find himself once again by playing the backup core. I'll go with that. Andy's going to find himself again by calling a game to fit a backup quarterback. Because, I mean, that was almost like his most impressive. When McNabb went out in Philly, he thrived with Feely and Cobb and Detmer and Peterson. I can name them all. Both Detmers, I think.
Both Detmers.
So I'll go with that. That's my answer.
He was so good with Kevin Kolb that was a thing that NFL teams tried to do. What if we draft a backup quarterback high and then they see, a game or two and then we flip them for a higher pick? Like NFL teams tried to do that because Andy did it in Philly with Kevin Kolb.
He got a stick-around pick for both Cobb and for Feely, I believe.
That's right. I forgot that it was a second for Feely as well. I mean, that's outrageous, but I don't know.
Part of the Cobb was throwing for like 400 yards on the Chiefs back then. I don't know. It was like 3 or 4 games, and one of them against the Chiefs, he threw for over 400 yards. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. Speaking of being born in the darkness, yikes. That's really what it is. You're looking for the future here. I mean, when I think about this season, it's going to be one of those. It's like going to be hard to find players that you feel positive about, but a lot of them are young players like Kingsley. Guess what? The Chiefs have a left guard, and that is the position we spent a lot of energy and breath on Kingsley Suamataia in this offseason about, hey, is he going to be able to play, or is that going to be the thing that ruins this season? It seems very silly in retrospect now, that Kingsley might have been the hopes of all that. He was fine. He was more than fine. They got their left guard, and that's a big thing. Noah Williams, another guy that you can look at there. I think we're going to see some newer faces, not just because they need to play the young guys. They should just play the young guys, but because of injury as well. I mean, if Leo can't go, my guy Cooper McDonald's going to play. I'm very excited for Cooper McDonald. Let's go.
I'm loving it. I'm loving it.
So, I mean, I'm excited about that. I know a lot of people are excited about Jalen Royals potentially seeing some snaps. I mean, Noel Williams, he has to play, because they're going to be so banged up. I think you're just going to see a lot more guys get a lot more run. Big Ashton Gelati games for the next 3 weeks. Just throw him out there. Yeah, play him full time if you need to. Get him snaps. I'm interested to see how some of the younger guys look. And that's kind of thinking back to the bad seasons. That's what it always was. So that's where you took a situation where you went, okay, this sucks. I really hate playing this football or watching this football team right now. They're so frustrating. But let's see how that guy looks in this scenario. Let's see how this guy can then turn around and try and be a player moving forward. And that's how we found some of these players in the past. That's how we saw that, some of these younger players turned into bigger stars or turned into situations where they didn't need to draft a guy because of 4 or 5 games where they played on a bad football team and they were forced into action because of injuries, or forced into actions because it was a 2-14 football team, and so you got to really give the evaluation that over the past 4 or 5 years, Dirk, when we've been watching this football team, you kind of wanted to keep the status quo as much as possible because, I mean, you heard Travis Kelce talk about it. It's like, well, eventually it's going to click. Like we keep waiting for it to click. It's these guys. We know who they are, so we're going to keep playing them. When you don't have that click anymore, you don't have that situation where those guys do step up and play in that, it really kind of forces you to hit that reset button a little bit. So that's really what you're looking for now. And please go out there and spoil the Broncos Christmas Day. I would love nothing more than to show back up at work. That would be Friday. I work on that Friday after Christmas Day. I would love nothing more than to show back up at work on that Friday and just talk mad shit. I want nothing more. It's like, you lost to that team? What's wrong with you? That's Gardner Minshew. Do you realize who you lost to? That would be amazing. I would love that so much.
Are you surrounded by Broncos fans? You see them all the time?
Constantly, yes. Entire office full of them. As a matter of fact, as the Chiefs play poorly, I get relentless texts, Teams messages, emails from all over the building. Just people that want to talk shit. I am the Chiefs guy in my building right now.
Are you getting harassed? Are you getting harassed, Craig? Is this a Me Too thing? Do we need to Me Too Craig Stout?
Do we need to? No, we definitely don't. I'm good. But yes, I am being harassed a little bit there. It was interesting to watch everybody, the shit talk go from like super peak to, oh, damn it. Like Patrick's like seriously hurt. And then the people that have a conscience just being like, oh, I'm sorry. That sucks. I didn't want that to happen. I just want you to have a bad time, not your quarterback to be seriously hurt. So yeah, got the full gamut of that. All right. We ready? 11 minutes on that question. That's a great one here. This is the perfect one to throw to you. I'm just going to throw to you from Double Tag Trent. Nick, who you mad at?
Who you mad at? Who are you mad at?
Who are you mad at?
Who am I actually mad at?
I know. I've struggled with that. Kate kind of had that of the lab, when we recorded this week. And
I'm not like overly upset about much of the process. Like it all kind of makes sense. Like there's no move. Like I wasn't like a huge fan of like, re-signing Trey Smith kind of thing. Sure. But it's not like I'm upset about it. And I completely understand basically every move they've made. What are you gonna get mad at Andy because his scheme has gotten stale, but the scheme has gone to 3 straight Super Bowls and pulled it out, been at its best at the end of the season every single year. Man, who are you mad at? I don't have a good answer. Do you have something?
No, it's hard to be mad. Like I'm mad that the scheme has gotten stale a little bit, but again, to your point, you go to 3 straight Super Bowls running that scheme. At a certain point, you're just going to say, okay, well, here's what I'm going to do. I needed to fail in order for me to say this is definitively not the right path. If you told me we're in this same spot, we're still bitching about the scheme next year on December, 18th, 2026. Yeah, I'm mad at Andy. I am at that point, or, whoever's architecting the scheme. I'm mad at them there. I struggle. I struggle getting mad, and not just because this team has already given me more than, frankly, as a fan, I probably deserve. So, I struggle with the whole who you mad at thing. I can find things that I wish went better, but the process itself, I'm with you there. The process itself wasn't such that like, I hate it or don't understand.
Yeah, I think it's going to be like a future talking point for these next 3 weeks is just like, I mean, where did it go wrong? And we kind of have all these different answers, but it's like, what would you think was wrong in the moment? Like what part of the process is where it went wrong? And I don't really have a great answer. Like I don't look at any one thing where it's just like, oh man, they really lost their way here. Like things kind of might seem obvious now, but
let me ask you this. If the Chiefs trade for Breece Hall and or Boye Mafe at the trade deadline, do they change their fortunes? Do you think that this is now all of a sudden a Super Bowl team? Maybe they're a playoff team. I'm not going to say that they can't maybe squeak into the playoffs. Are they a Super Bowl team?
I don't think so. And then I think I'm mad because then I think you threw away a 3rd round pick.
Right.
Whereas now, like when it's shifted to like the offseason, it's like, oh shit. Well, now we don't have much cap room. Obviously, that's going to be fixed who knows what the actual number will end up being. And it's like, oh, we only got 6 draft picks. And it's like, everybody was begging to give away one of those top draft picks for a 9-week rental a few weeks ago. If you did that and then still missed the playoffs, then I'd be mad. So, that's one thing I'd be mad at.
I got one thing that I'm mad at, that I've been consistently mad at. The process with nose tackle this season was stupid. Now, it's inconsequential here. It was not that much, but you cut you cut Mike Pennel to trade for Derek Nottie, to then add Mike Pennel back to the equation, who's playing roughly the same number of snaps as Derek. Like, what was the thinking there? What was the process there? That's the part. That one has always confounded me. So I guess if I'm going to pick one thing to be mad at, it's nose tackle assets used towards that. And I mean, I guess if you want to say that ONL was part of that equation as well as a second round draft pick to try and solve nose tackle because they bulked him up. Sure, I'll get a little bit mad at the process there, but it's a nose tackle. How mad can I actually get about a nose tackle? It's not that mad.
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of mad at whoever makes the Twitter algorithm. So I'm just force fed Andy Reid hate all day. So it's like I'm kind of, it's everything like blinds me when I'm like I'm just trying to look at Twitter and stuff. And it's just like, it's just throwing in my face constantly. I'm like, God damn it, shut up. So that's one thing.
There you go.
And I don't even know if it's real. I can't tell if it's real or not, or if it's just Twitter. I honestly can't tell.
Right.
Because all of Kansas City hate Andy Reid now all of a sudden. Like they just completely throw in the last years out the window.
No. I think everybody's projecting Andy to not make moves. I think that's part of this. They're getting pre-mad at, okay, well, we went all in for the three-peat, which, again, think about what you're saying there. Well, we went all in for the three-peat. Damn it. Too bad they went all in to try and do something that's never been done before, and did something that's never been done before by making winning 2, making a 3rd straight Super Bowl there. But at the same time, people are getting mad because it's like, well, he's not going to fire Matt Nagy. He's not going to move on from this coaching staff. He's not going to make changes. Again, we're here next year and the same thing. We'll be mad about those sorts of things. It feels like people are getting pre-mad at the things that they project aren't going to happen when literally every time they haven't made the Super Bowl, they've like hit a major reset button on this team in some way, shape, or form. Gonna happen again. We just don't know what it looks like yet.
I don't really see the path for like a major reset. Like I feel like all their tough decisions were like last year. So I don't know if you're talking about a big reset. Are you talking about trading away some of their young key players?
I'm talking coaching. Here to be specific.
Do you think that is going to happen?
I do. I legitimately do as a part of this. I mean,
Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, the last time that this happened, I'm scrolling back to make sure I capture everything here. So it's 2022 was the last time. So 2021, Chiefs lose in overtime of the AFC Championship game to the Cincinnati Bengals, and a game that they shouldn't have lost. Absolutely shouldn't have lost. They let Matt House walk, which is their way of firing lots of coaches, not all, but lots of coaches. The contract ends. They say, get the hell out of here. We're done. They let Matt House walk, move Brendan Daly over there, sign Joe Cullen. They let Mike Kafka walk to go be hired by the New York Giants. It's a promotion for sure.
Yeah.
But they then bring Matt Nagy back in the mix. They let Sam Madison walk. That was a move that I was pissed off about in the moment because I thought he was the key to the secondary, not necessarily Dave Merritt. I thought Dave Merritt was very good with safeties. Did not realize that they were going to be just fine with Dave Merritt at that position. Let him take over all of that. So I know we all go back to just Tyreek Hill. That's a lot of coaching change for an Andy Reid organization. Those are a lot of major coaches. Typically, he sticks with guys. They don't let guys walk or kind of go on all of that. That was a major reset, in my opinion, of the coaching staff as well. Now, it's not as major as like, hey, we fired the defensive coordinator like they did with Bob Sutton. But who knows? That was the other last time they didn't make the Super Bowl with this football team.
I just kind of feel like we kind of got into this in amateur hour, but I feel like the changes might come like from within Andy's mind. Like we might see, it might be the same cast of characters, but Andy's has to, reimagine what he wants to do with this team. I feel like that's almost more likely. Like people are going to freak out because the coaching staff doesn't turn over that much, but the changes might have to come from like within. They're going to have to look within and be like, and self-scout what the hell went wrong here and how can we fix it? And then make actual changes that way. And I feel like that's more than likely. And Chiefs fans are going to lose it when it happens. Mm-hmm. And we won't have, they can talk on that or whatever, and we can be mad about it, but we won't know for sure until they take the field in 2026. And then that's kind of when you would learn, like, are they actually making changes here? And that's when I'd probably actually be getting mad at, people here who are in charge.
Right. And to be fair, that 2022 where they did all those changes, they also made a major philosophical change in their scheme as well. I mean, we all looked at that and went, the hell are they doing? MVS? Juju? What's wrong with you? Those guys are washed. They're not good. That's not going to move. And then they became one of the most efficient offenses of all time. Like it was a philosophy change. So I agree. I think there's going to be both personally, but I do agree. If they keep everybody, I don't think that we're going to see Andy coming out here and running the same 2-3 versions of mesh over and over and over again, week in and week out, to where it becomes so predictable. And frankly, Andy knows that as well, that if he comes out there and he does that, like, he's not making it past next year, like, because then it will really.
I'm thinking in my head, I'm wondering what it could be like. I would hate for things to get ugly like that. But if they underachieve again next year and things look kind of the same, we're pointing fingers at these same things, man, what do? Do you fire Andy Reid?
I mean, you start, then all of these comparisons that everybody's making to Philly right now become real. And then you really do have to make that judgment call of, are we going to waste more years of Patrick Mahomes and hope it gets better, or do we need to make a serious move here? So let's hope it doesn't get to that spot, but we are in a spot where we need to take a break. So we're going to take a break. We'll be right back with more of your questions right after this.
My name is Terrell Jolly. A lot of people call me TJ, founder and CEO of Integrity Capital Management. So Integrity Capital Management originally started out as a property management firm, but we slowly transitioned into what is described as an incremental development firm that's focused on situational housing. I know most people say affordable, but we believe in creating housing for people that are actually in need and built to the end user. I believe everyone needs a home, because when you have home, you have hope. The reality is that when you're building a business, one thing you don't think about is like what a true banking relationship means. And, I had the honor and privilege of meeting Debbie early on in my career when I was just trying to get going. And as a small business, it's really challenging at times because people don't understand the concept or not believe the longevity because you're just getting started. But Debbie was willing to take a chance on me, be patient with me. I almost look at it like a grassroots initiative. She's seen and believe what I'm about. Anybody that's really true about their business and want to get some things done, I would definitely trust hands down Emprise, because Deb's team, along with Aaron and Jackie and all the amazing people that work behind the scenes, even from the treasury side, I would say, hey, give them an opportunity, because you won't be disappointed and you will actually be in hands that actually somebody care and that will see you from start to finish.
Missouri, your moment is finally here, because DraftKings Sportsbook, America's top-rated sportsbook app, is now live in your state. Now you can make every game even more exciting with same-game parlays, money lines, props, and more, all from your phone, all safe, secure, and easy to use. Missouri fans know game day. The tailgates, the noise, the passion. Now with DraftKings Sportsbook, you can bring that same energy to every snap, every touchdown, every win. And right now, new Missouri customers can bet just $5 and get $300 in bonus bets instantly. No waiting, no nonsense. just pure action powered by America's top-rated sportsbook app. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code KCSN. New Missouri customers bet just $5 and get $300 in bonus bets instantly. That's code KCSN. The crown is yours. In partnership with DraftKings Sportsbook. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus, physically present in Missouri. Eligibility and restrictions apply. Terms at DraftKings.com/sportsbook. Bonus bets expire 7 days after issuance. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see sportsbook.draftkings.com/promos.
All right, we are back. 21 questions. Craig Stout, his Dirkness. We are here. I always point the wrong way. I don't mirror correctly. His Dirkness. There we go. Yeah.
I'm not used to this angle. I'm used to we're usually divided, horizontal.
Like it's yeah. Oh, yeah. And we've got the little bar off to the side and everything's just like real tight on my head. Yeah. So I don't feel like I can move. I get to 21 questions. I'm like, look at all this room for activities. Everybody can see me talking with my hands all the time. It's great. It's great. We're gonna go ahead. We kind of covered a little bit for what's the answer for coaching staff next season here by Double Gap year season. Trust me, we're gonna be talking about that a lot right now. I know that there's some
Spags is 100% back.
Correct, 100% back. I don't think that unless the New York Giants come a calling, which again. Maybe they do. I think that's the only way that Spags leaves is if he gets a head coaching job. I think he is 1,000% safe at this point. I know people are frustrated by some of the metrics and everything, but trust me, it gets worse. You don't you want to be out here. You don't want to be out here. We end up with Bob Sutton again here. All right. Let's talk a little bit about this. We've hinted at it a couple times. Kent KCSN. I don't know who that guy is. I don't know. Sounds kind of like an asshole.
Next.
Yeah. What was it like for Dirk podcasting about a losing football team before the Mahomes era? Can you draw from that experience at all this year? And I want to be clear here. I've been podcasting a long time with the lab. We started the year Patrick Mahomes started podcasting the year that Patrick Mahomes started as quarterback. I was covering this team since 2009 with Arrowhead Pride, but you have been podcasting specifically about it. What was that like? Give people an idea here.
Well, I mean, the original creation of Amateur Hour was about 4 weeks before the Jovan Belcher incident, if that gives you a timeline. Mm-hmm. So yeah, me and it's actually how Amateur Hour started. Me and Ryan were both writing about the Chiefs. And writing just takes more time, out of your day and more planning and mind effort.
Best putting that was still the best. It was the absolute best and worst was. Just saying.
Yeah. So, I mean, both writing for Arrowhead Pride, but man, putting that much energy into the 2012 Chiefs did not behoove either of us. So we're like, people are doing these podcasts. Maybe we should just start doing that, and that'll be easier because it's just an hour of talking, and then you're basically done. So that is actually how Amateur Hour started. What was it like? I mean, I think our second podcast was interviewing Marty McDonald of Save Our Chiefs. That was our second ever episode. We had Kent Babb on in person, came and sat in Ryan's kitchen with us talking. It was soon after the candy bar thing, the whole article about all of that.
Pioli is
very soon after that.
Yeah.
And dude, he had some anecdotes and was just letting it fly. So it was definitely a different time, much less talking about the game, much more just bringing in people who were just happy to talk Chiefs and like Chiefs, like Kansas City media people. So that was a lot of fun. Obviously I had Nick Wright on for years and all that, but talked to Sam Mellinger, very kind. So it was a lot of that, a lot of, figuring out what's wrong, a lot of Alex Smith debates, man, a lot of what it's going to take to get over the hump, a lot of waiting out the Peyton Manning era for our turn. So yeah, I mean, what can we draw from that? Football's up and down. There's strikes and gutters. But
When was
yeah,
the last time you threw a gutter, Dirk? Has it
I
been in the
haven't bowled
Mahomes era?
I haven't bowled any. No, not many gutters. Not many gutters.
Okay.
On 10 pins, maybe. I'll
That's not a gutter.
Yeah.
You're swinging hard. You're pissed off. You threw a pocket shot. And
yeah.
let
But it was funny because a lot of people were like, our last week's episode, and people were like, man, this felt like old school amateur hour with like some anger in your voices, like some gallows humor is what he called, which I had to look up, but it was accurate. So it did feel like, you're not just like sitting here in full appreciation. Like it gets to a point where it's like, I always remember Bill Simmons talking about the Patriots isn't as fun now. Cause what am I going to do? Like badmouth Belichick for his draft picks. It's like, we're in the middle of the best dynasty of all time. So what am I going to sit here and do? Like, I can't really be critical. I mean, you can, but overall you can't be mad at anything. You're just like, you just kind of watch it unfold.
Yeah.
It is kind of interesting. It's an interesting time because now it's like, how do you fix it? Which is much more interesting conversation than just like, hey, we're the fucking best and this is awesome.
Especially when it's like the how do you fix it conversation wants to happen because we have enough Chiefs fans that have been around for long enough that have been a part of this that went through the how do you fix it multiple times. I mean, I just got done talking about nose tackle. I remember how excited I was to have Ron Edwards as nose tackle because they did not have a guy that could play nose tackle before it. And they were really making me sad to watch my favorite player of all time, Derek Johnson, basically get swallowed up by offensive linemen every single snap. Like it pissed me off. So like we have been through this before and there's that kind of latent, I want to build sort of thing. I kind of want to blow this up and start over again because we're just used to doing it. Some of us that have been around for a long time, we're used to doing that. It's like, oh, well, Haley and Pioli, that was the wrong option. Hit the rebuild button. Here we go. And all of that. When you lose in a Super Bowl, it's like, well, yeah, there were some glaring weaknesses, but also we're in the Super Bowl. Like again, it's hard to want to hit that button in the same way. So again, it goes back to the question we had earlier. You get into this position where you're like, I get why they made all the decisions that they did. You get why you get there. So it's hard to be mad about it. When you guys started, I remember I was very fortunate, got to be on occasionally, very rarely.
I forgot you as an early guest.
Guest is kind. That was more of a Craig created this way of tracking defensive stats. It was also made up off the top of my head, complete shit. And the PFF came in afterwards and they did it. And I went, hey, wait a minute. PFF did not steal this from me, from anybody listening. So anyway, but I did that. I would come on occasionally and talk with you two individuals. That's how we know each other. That's why we've been kind of friendly, throughout the past, oh God, over a decade now. But it was one of those that we would just kind of come on and it was a vent session. It was a way to just kind of be like, this sucks. I can't believe this is happening to our football team. I want to be a fan of this. All I want is for them to be relevant. All I want is for them to win a playoff game. All I want is for them to get something to be hopeful for. And regardless of what happens this season, you can't look at this football team and say, oh, well, it's completely hopeless now. Because it's not. It's just not. They're not even remotely close to this. Now, the team they may field on Sunday may be closer to the Tyler Palco Chiefs than we want to admit. But again, they don't have anything to play for. They're very hurt right now. But they got Patrick Mahomes. You got a left tackle. You got some receivers. We'll see who what they are. You got some young defensive talent. You got coaches that have been there before. We didn't have any of that in 2012. None of that in 2012. I mean, as our friend DJ likes to say, we were a really bad football team. And that when it comes out of his mouth, you go, yeah, you were. You were.
He admitted it?
He admitted it. We played some bad football, and all that. It's like, yeah, you were, but it's not to that point. So, Kent, buddy, your privilege is showing. There's a better football team than that. Dirk's not going to have to go all 2012 just to get through this stretch right here. So, okay. Next question that we've got here. Cancun on 3. Great one. Great name here. Asks, what's the biggest challenge facing the Chiefs moving forward? Is it scheme, players, talent, Patrick's loss of confidence, or all of the above? If you had to pick one that you think, projecting forward, you think it is, Dirk?
Coaching, talent. I feel like the talent level is about the same as it was, just last year, and we went 50-1 and made the Super Bowl. Obviously got our asses kicked. Yeah. But I guess I struggle with like what the answers are, I guess. So I guess you need to make changes, but I don't know how to make the changes because Andy is just too ingrained and has done too much good to make any big changes like that. Like everyone you kind of trust, like you have trust in all these guys and you need to make big changes. That's why I'm like kind of pushing back when you said like you see like a big, reset coming this offseason or whatever it is. And I just don't know what it is. Like I don't, like even if you're looking at the players, like I don't, unless you're looking to try and unload like a Trent McDuffie or Rashee Rice or something like that, like how do you bring in more talent to change us? Like I'm reading like my YouTube comments and it's like, man, if they can just bring in a new number 1 receiver and a couple pass rushers and then throw the extra assets at running back. And it's just like, great plan, man. Like it's
love it.
Works. It's like,
I love it. I would also love to do all of those things in one off season and have them all hit first try,
So it's like I want to see big changes made, but it's hard for me to see where those changes come. So I don't know if that totally answers the question. It's kind of like an overarching for everybody. And those changes even include Patrick Mahomes, because I think Patrick Mahomes has been a different football player than he was early on in his career. And I think those changes were made out for good reasons that led to a lot of winning when he initially made those changes. And now he seems to be struggling to go back to how he used to be, which is, I think, what we need moving forward. So even that gets difficult. So yeah, it's mostly that it's hard for me to draw the path of where those changes are that need to be made.
Yeah. It's all of the above. I mean, I think that's kind of where you're landed. If you had to guess, it would be all of the above there. It's not to say they can't. I think that's the delineating factor here that people are losing sight of. People look at this and a lot of times it's portrayed as, well, they can't make these changes or they can't figure this out. Patrick has lost his confidence in throwing the deep ball. Fully agree. I do. I fully agree with that sentiment. Does that mean he can't get it back? Absolutely not. No, I think that he can get that back. Do we think that Xavier Worthy is not going to be a quality wide receiver at the NFL level? No, I don't believe that. I do believe that he's not progressed as far as we'd hoped he would have at this point, but no, get him a wide receiver coach, different one. Let's see what that works out. It's not that I hate Connor Embry, but let's see, make a change. That goes to the coaching. Make a change. Try and find out what it is, because right now it really does feel like all of the above. And the last time it felt like all of the above, they made some pretty significant changes. They won back-to-back Super Bowls and went to a third. So I'm willing to wait it out. I am not on the fire Andy Reid right now. It's bleak. Everything's wrong.
But even in that offseason, like they had like this gigantic asset that was kind of like the perfect time to trade. It was an extremely tough decision, but they don't have that asset now. And they had.
Yeah, we have not.
Go ahead.
Did we think that we had that asset in December of that year? That's the other part, because the Tyreek thing really bubbled up quick in March.
Well, yeah, I don't think we saw the trade coming for sure. Nobody saw that coming. But the asset was still there. I mean, who's the second biggest asset on the Chiefs right now?
Trent McDuffie, maybe. It really might be Trent McDuffie or Chris Jones.
I don't think Trent McDuffie gets you a first-round pick, does he?
No, I don't think Trent McDuffie. Well, I don't know. Sauce Gardner got 2. I'm struggling. I think a high 2, probably. Maybe.
It was also kind of like older players where it was like decision time. Like, well, we got to make decisions now on Tyrann Mathieu.
That's absolutely true.
And it's like we had our decisions last year. Like I was like, oh man, do we stick with Trey Smith and Nick Bolton and George Karlaftis? Like, there's these guys that are kind of like, oh, I'm not sure. Should we? And we kind of went yes on all of them. So now, like, the decisions have already been made. So, like, I don't know. Like, there's easy cuts to be made this offseason. Obviously, you're going to cut Dana and you're going to cut Jawan Taylor and you're going to restructure Mahomes and you're going to get someone under the cap. But, like, outside of that, like, I don't know how this reset happens.
I mean, and I think we all can kind of see the writing on the wall with Travis Kelce. Drew Tranquill's another one that they can do. You know, there's moves to be made there. But, I mean, even at this point, that in that 2022 year, Tyreek Hill was the future. Like, sticking with him. Top 5 pick. Definitely not trading that guy. Tyrann Mathieu is the engine that makes Steve Spagnuolo's defense go. Yeah, he's showing a little bit of age, but they definitely can't do without him. I don't know. They've made these decisions before. Not saying that they're going to be the right ones now, but I'm with you. They had a lot of young guys last year. It was like, hey, are we doubling down on all these young guys, or are we going to hit the full reset button now? And they doubled down, you know? So,
and it's one of those ones where it's like when you're winning, like you're more likely to
easy to make those decisions, right? Yeah.
Whereas you have this, you know, heartbreaking, embarrassing AFC Championship loss where it's like, okay, maybe it is time for, you know, some new blood in here. Whereas
for sure,
the winning has kind of led to, it makes sense to bring these people back. Also, I mean, the biggest asset would be Josh Simmons, I think.
I mean, you're absolutely right. The biggest asset.
Trade Josh Simmons
at this point. Please don't. They finally found a left tackle. Please don't do that. But I mean, like, if you're looking at it from that lens, maybe Creed Humphrey. I don't trade Creed Humphrey. I'm not condoning for trading Creed Humphrey, but that would be another big chip. He's not getting a first round draft pick though.
Although if we're on this podcast, you know, in 2022, we're like, don't trade Tyreek.
Don't trade Tyreek Hill. Don't let Tyrann Mathieu. As a matter of fact, I was on podcasts in 2022 just being like, that is the stupidest thing I've ever heard. Cut to a week later. Well, I was wrong yet again. I did the same thing with L'Jarius Sneed. You know. So anyway,
you were saying what? Was it someone asked that or something before it happened?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We got to record, I think it was like one podcast during the Tyreek Hill saga, quote unquote saga. It was Christian Kirk is the one that drove it. Yeah. I mean, you remember that they signed him to this huge deal and then all these wide receiver contracts just kept flowing in. And we were looking at that and we were hearing the disgruntlement. And I think it was like on a Monday that we recorded a lab. And what it was like a Tuesday or a Wednesday that he was traded. So, I mean, like, it was a very short shelf life, but I was like, that is an asinine decision. They will set themselves back at wide receiver. You will be in a bad position. They do that and then they win both Super Bowls in a row. So, I'm wrong a lot. I'm good at that. So, I mean, to ask my kids, I'm wrong a lot, you know? So anyway, let's see here. Let's do another Chiefs one, and then we'll get into some other ones. Casey asked about possibly trading Trent. We talked about that a little bit here.
What do you think they'd get? Second round pick?
Yeah, second round pick. Early second, I think.
It's which we were debating if it's like, why isn't he playing in the slot? Like, is it his? Do you think he has some way in the decision?
Yeah. I don't know that. That's not inside information. I do think that because at this point, I think he's shown enough times that he is an elite slot defender.
Correct. And so he's not as valuable if he's not going to be playing in the slot. So it's like, it's kind of like, this is a weird
comparison. He played well enough on the outside, though. He played well enough to, I think, get paid. If you wanted to tell me right now that he's saying, let me play outside for a couple of years, get paid by this football team, and then Steve, I will play wherever the fuck you want me to play after that. I would hear that out. I really would. It's like, help keep me paid, and I will play wherever you want.
I'm just worried that, you pay a guy and he's going to kind of always be, I don't want to say a liability, but a question mark against these bigger receivers just because they're 6 inches taller than him. And if they go up and time the ball right, there ain't shit he can do to stop it.
There's not. I mean, that's not to toot my own horn here, but this is why we do CBAT. Like, this is the whole thing. You take all of those components in together to form this thing. There's a real tangible reason why this is. It's not just like, oh, fast guy running in a straight line is good. No, it's all these things that put together that turn into this elite player. Yes, ball matters. Being able to play matters. And there are countless examples of guys that are slow, short, small, whatever, that can play ball. Trent McDuffie is one of those examples. But it falls off at a certain point. Like, it just does. Those things get exposed. The A.J. Browns of the world happen. And there's nothing you can do about that. If you have that just general ability to play in that, I know it's really dumb. It's very, very, very baseline here. I'm not breaking any molds by saying this. Big guy run fast can run with other big guy run fast. I mean, that's what it is. But it matters so much in a game where you're constantly playing in the margins and those 50-50 balls or those, across the middle of the field where Trent McDuffie's on the guy's hip and he's got a hand extended and it's still completed. Like, that matters. And
I like the theory that he'd be willing to go to the slot after getting paid. I kind of like
that. Yeah, I do. I think that's where I am right now, because I think he knows that. He has to know that because he'll kick inside. He still will on occasion, especially when it's a matchup dependent guy where it's like, guess what? I still can play in the slot. He knows he's good from there. That's not something. Yeah. So, all right. We got one more football question. We'll transition off of this to some of these other ones here. Coming from His Darkness.
Oh,
what? Craig, now that the season is over, the season's not over, Dirk. I don't know if you know this, but there's still 3 more football games. Now that the season is over, can we focus on what's really important? The kickoff landing zone heat map. Get ready, everybody. Strap in. We are talking about kickoff landing zone heat maps. Dirk was very kind to send this to me. Dirk, where did you find these heat maps for
they're
people can?
I may dabble in some kickoff Twitter, so it hits the algorithm quite often when it's too much Andy Reid slander. I just Twitter search kickoffs.
Okay.
And, you don't get anything related to kickoffs because the Twitter search doesn't work at all. But it does kind of form the algorithm, so I eventually see it.
So I want to point this out. I'm holding it up on my phone right now. Dirk sent this to me. I'm not on Twitter. Yes. So Dirk was very kind to send this to me. I want to talk about how awesome the Carolina Panthers are at landing in the kickoff zone, Dirk.
Yeah.
Let's talk about it. Like, when you pull this...
Our rivals, by the way, the Carolina Panthers... who a better record than us this season. That's
better record than us this season.
I've been kind of keep like, hey, we're Super Bowl favorites, but the Carolina Panthers do have a better record than us, so it's kind of an interesting position to be in.
I mean, the Carolina Panthers have a handful of touchbacks, like into the end zone touchbacks. Based on this heat map, I'm saying 4 or 5. It's not many. The Carolina Panthers also have exactly 2 that fell short of the landing zone. The rest of this amorphous blob, this heat map, is spread out throughout the entirety of the goal line to the 20, sideline to sideline. Like, they are peppering and dotting.
Well, you know why? It's because he's kicking it low. So it's just landing in random spots. But the whole key to the kickoff is to kick it low. And for the life of me, I can't figure out that NFL teams won't embrace this or even just like kind of lean into it slowly, like, oh, maybe this is kind of the way. And it's just like they're not even trying it. The thing is, so for so many years you didn't want to kick the ball low because then your coverage team would be slow to get down the field. But they can leave as soon as the ball lands anywhere. So as soon as the ball is caught or the ball lands, then they can start going. So there's no kicking it high or kicking it low. There's no advantage. The coverage team leaves at the same time. So kicking it low and getting the ball to bounce around a little bit. And now all of a sudden if the returner is not able to field the ball, he's trying to catch an oblong ball that's bouncing around while 11 people are bearing down on him. And so it just creates chaos to the point where it's like, this is the way. And it's like, I'm curious to see if like NFL teams really study it this offseason now that they get like a whole season to look at it. But like, I'm shocked by how slow NFL teams are to embrace what I think is the clear strategical advantage on kickoffs.
It really is bizarre to look at these heat maps and see how many teams, the Chiefs are included in this criticism that I'm levying here. How many teams are just like, we're gonna try and kick it to the hashes at about the 5-yard line over and over and over again in the air. And we have quite maddeningly, I mean, I can't believe we haven't talked about Dave Toub on this podcast yet, but Dave Toub is probably one of those guys that might be on the chopping block here. Like, it's been
you were a Toub guy. Were you a Toub guy?
I was a Toub guy. I was a Toub guy. But
this is the first year I'm kind of swung the other way because he's been shit on for like the last at least 5 years, and I'm always like,
correct.
He's not as bad as you guys think.
Yeah, this year,
right. This year.
He is. It's the penalties, man. Like that. It's so undisciplined. It's just terribly undisciplined, and the fact that so many of these kicks come out to the 30 anyway. Every single time, that's the part that's frustrating to me. It's like you're not trying anything, you're not changing anything. And as one of the architects of this new kickoff rule, what did you think you were doing here? And so, like, I look at teams like the Patriots. The Patriots have like a left lean to their kicks. Dirk, keep that comment to yourself. Left lean to their kicks, but they are all over the map on that. Like they are really kind of blanketing all over the map. The Ravens are everywhere on this heat map as well. The Broncos actually do a pretty good job of spreading it out as well. Panthers are obviously the best example. The Rams, I don't know what the Rams are doing. The Rams are weird. Just go look at this. Like it's just this giant right down the middle. There's a bunch of kicks that are short. There's a bunch of kicks that are out of the back of the end zone. Like they can't figure themselves out.
I think they were the team that was kicking low balls too, but that is a lot of touchbacks. So I'm not sure.
That is a lot.
I like that the Titans have like 5 kickoffs on the entire season, so they've scored like 5. They've scored
they're
a few opening kickoffs, a few field goals here and there, and that's it. That's all they got.
Yeah, the Raiders heat map is also pretty sad as well for obvious reasons, but I don't know. I look at the Carolina Panthers, who had a rookie kicker, Ryan Fitzgerald, out of Florida State last year. Ryan Fitzgerald was a fine kicker. I did not write up kickers in the KCSN draft guide last year. Ryan Fitzgerald would not have made the KCSN draft guide. He's fine kicker. Shots fired at Ryan Fitzgerald. But
he listens to this, man. He is going to be.
He'd probably come in.
He makes it 50 minutes into this show.
Yeah. If he makes it 15 minutes into this show, he can come talk all the shit he wants to my face. I'm fine.
Come on the show next week, Ryan.
Come on, man. Let's talk about how you guys are better at this than everybody else. And special teams coordinator Tracy Smith, who, as Dirkness pregame or pre-show pointed out to me, is the opposite of Esapole as far as your team mandated headshot. Like Esapole takes up the entire frame. Tracy Smith takes up the smallest amount of the frame as possible. There's more background in Tracy Smith's headshot for the Carolina Panthers team photo than there is of actually him.
I think Pole's head weighs more than that of special teams coach.
Correct. Yes, probably. But these are guys that, I mean, Tracy Smith's been kicking around the league for a long time. I mean, he started as a tight ends coach in college, became an assistant special teams coach for a number of NFL teams, and then this is his first gig as an actual special teams coach for the Panthers. He started last year. They're good at this. Like, they figured it out. They know what they're doing as far as making it unpredictable, making it difficult to get long returns, set up returns, and things like that. I really struggle with how Dave Toub has approached this, over the past couple of years. I really thought that there was going to be more. I did, the guy who came up with it said that, hey, we really like this. We got some things in store. What things, Dave? What things? I haven't seen any things. So I don't know. I appreciate you sending this to me.
People might think this is like no big deal, but like the season almost kind of ended when before halftime, there's low time on the clock, and the Chiefs have I don't know, I wouldn't say a bad kickoff necessarily, but bad coverage most likely, and they allow the Chargers to return the ball past the 40, and now with 20 something seconds, they're like, well, maybe we should give it a shot and try and score here. End up scoring a touchdown when, landing on a football in the vicinity of it is ruled a catch a couple times. And then the whole game swings and then the season's over.
I know kickers have this kickoff has become so much more powerful than it was because of the yard lines that it comes out to now. Let's not get Maddie started on this. He hates the fact that kickers got more power in the league here, but
I love the case. I love it. I would like to see push back a little further. Like I would almost push the coverage teams like 5 yards further down the field just to like try and get the field position.
But games aren't.
But they had to penalize teams because they wouldn't stop doing touchbacks. So it's like stop,
correct,
or else hits is what's we're just going to keep moving it further.
And I mean, now you see a touchback comes out a little bit farther, and now a long couple of passes now puts you, especially with how kickers are booting the ball right now. Brandon Aubrey, hell, you could run a 5-yard run after a touchback, and he's probably like, yeah, put me out there. Like, I got this.
A touchback, no first downs, and he's trying to field goal.
And I mean, it really changes the strategy for offensive coaches as well. If you've got the ball and there's 32 seconds left, maybe you try and take a little more time off the clock. Maybe you try, the Patrick Mahomes theory of we don't want him to get the ball back. Now you're kind of doing that with everybody now. So I like it. I think it's fun, but get better, Dave.
Going for fourth downs like inside like the 10, 15, 20-yard line, because the field position is so much worse than if you kick the field goal and now the other team's returning it out to like the 35 or 40-yard line. Like if you can just bury them, a fourth down turnover at the 9-yard line is not so bad because they got to pick up 30 extra yards to get where they would from the kickoff.
Yeah, especially if it's like, hey, we can tie this game up with, let's call it 8 minutes left in the game, and then kick the ball off to them, and oh crap, well, they're already in field goal range again, and now we got to go down and try and score another field goal. Yeah, I'm with you. Go for it on 4th and 3 from the 10-yard line, because you convert that, you punch it in for a touchdown. Now it changes the game significantly, and you don't have this short field. It's wild. I don't know. So, okay. Let's get to a couple fun questions, and that was fun. That was fun. I am telling Tucker that's the best question that we answered all day. Okay, so some fun questions here. Tank the Frank says, "What's the one song you have to listen to during the holidays?" Derek, are you a holiday song listener?
The one song I listen to during the holidays. Let me think. What do you got?
Man, I don't know, man. Like, listen, it's very, I like a lot of older music, but like Mariah Carey wrote the best Christmas song. She really did.
Come on.
I mean, she did.
Come on.
I'm not gonna lie. Like, she really did. I like versions of like Stevie Wonder's Christmas album is awesome. I really love that album. James Brown's Christmas album is awesome too. Mariah Carey did kind of write the best Christmas song. All I Want for Christmas Is You. Yeah.
I think I can get down to like is it Trans-Siberian Orchestra, I think?
Yes. Yes. You nailed it.
Down on some of that. Silent Night is the one that is like the traditional Christmas song that, like, I'm not like a big church guy, but I would go with my parents and family every Christmas Eve, and we, you light the candles and play Silent Night. So that one has like the
emotional resonance there a little bit. Yeah.
So that's kind of the purest Christmas song, I guess I would say.
Yeah, I get that. Bye Bye Tobe asks. Yeah, it's already waving goodbye to him here. Just in general, how's life going, guys? Dirk, how's life, buddy?
How's life? Oh, man. I'm here talking about how my favorite football team completely fell on their face. How their star quarterback got injured for the season. How my college team, star quarterback, transferred away from the team. How my favorite college team's best sport, they were the best team in the sport, going undefeated, and then choked away, not before making the Final Four. That's Nebraska women's volleyball. I had 3 bets out there for the Sunday afternoon games. You know, I was sad about the Mahomes injury. All 3 had a 2-lead score going into the or some point in the second half. All 3 did not cover. I am doing great. Hanging in there.
And I'm doing fine. Next question. Next question, also from Bye Bye Tome. I wanted to get to this one here. What parts about living in KC area do you not miss? We're really going to just light this podcast on fire at 50 minutes. Do not miss.
Oh, man. I saw this earlier. I thought it said, do you miss? Oh,
I mean, let's answer both. Answer both. Like, let's give a little compliment sandwich here. And
do you not miss? Well, I mean, the worst... I always liked the snow. So, like, I mean, you're thinking weather kind of pops in your mind first and foremost. The snow and the cold, I always liked. Like, the one thing that I do miss is, like, experiencing all the seasons, like how they're meant to be experienced. But, like, the heart of the summer, that was the absolute worst. That was one thing I could not handle, the 100-degree days. So that is definitely one thing that I do not miss. Go ahead. I'll keep thinking.
Wind. I hate wind. I despise wind. I moved away from Kansas. Granted, I lived in Wichita, which is much windier than Kansas City. Lived in the Wichita area. I hate wind now. I was gone for like 3 months, came back to Kansas, and I got out of the car and went, how the hell did I live here for 17 years? What is wrong with me? How do people survive in this? This is terrible.
Is it not windy in Colorado? What the hell's going on?
Oh, it was actually very windy the past couple of days. Like, it reminded me. I was earlier, wasn't I? Yeah, I was in a very small airplane getting whipped around by the wind all day today. You know, but it
wind.
I hate wind. I hate wind. But I'm also like you. I love seasons. I love all of that. I miss the food that Kansas City has. Food selection out here is fine. I'm finding my spots, but man, I could throw a dart and hit a good place to eat. I have to actually search quite a little bit to find food.
Well, and it's also, I mean, growing up there, you kind of have places that you've kind of gone to for so long that it's like, I mean, you love it and it kind of just feels like home kind of thing. So yeah,
for sure.
I could say that. I mean, there's food benefits out here but some things are definitely worse than they are back in Kansas City.
All right. Last one here from Major X3. What is your go-to holiday adult beverage? Major X says, I prefer, and he did this on purpose because he knows it's me, Glühwein to eggnog, but would like to hear Craig and Dirk's opinion. Do you have a favorite holiday beverage?
Can you say that one more time?
Glühwein. I am certain I'm butchering that.
I don't want to say
it
what
is
like.
GL umlaut HWEIN. Yeah.
Is that an umlauter in there?
That was an umlauter. That was an umlauter and a niner. It was just a silent niner.
Did you say eggnog? Because I did have an eggnog drink the other day, and it was tremendous. It was so good. I texted her Darkness. I was like, get some eggnog. Let's get some things fired up. Let's get some things going here.
What do you put in your eggnog? What kind of booze?
Well, this was like at a bar, so they put some fancy stuff in it. I don't know what is. I mean, brandy is the typical answer, isn't it? I mean,
but I've got some bourbon eggnogs. Yeah,
bourbon eggnog. Yeah. I mean, whatever I got.
Pour a glass, pour something in it. I'm good. Yeah,
I'll just get drunk off eggnog. I don't care. If you drink enough, you'll get drunk. Trust me. You'll start feeling a certain way.
Never mind. We've got the new best question of the podcast. Drink enough eggnog.
You want to find God?
Start to feel away.
You drink a whole carton of eggnog, you'll be speaking to him.
especially if you're lactose intolerant. Like you're going to go on a journey then through that one. I make a few cocktails here and there. I've actually got a pine liqueur that I like add into everything about that time of year. Pine, yeah. So it tastes like you're chewing on a pine tree there. So I'll add it to like an old fashioned. I'll add it to Manhattans. I just throw that shit in everything at this time of year. So I mean, it's more of a hey. I want to taste a Christmas tree, and so I'll just throw that in there. So yeah, that's my answer.
I don't know if I've ever said I want to taste a Christmas tree.
Buddy, I got some Christmas trees for you to taste. You throw that in some eggnog, and you're having yourself a good old time.
Can you drink it straight?
You can. It's not pleasant. Like you want it. I mean, it's like if you're
like tasting the Christmas tree, it'd be like going to the Christmas tree and just taking a bite out.
Right. I mean, I got one of those downstairs. I don't want to go and take a bite out of it. It would be like if you were drinking like Campari or something, like a very like a bitter aperitif or something like that. You don't want to just drink that straight. Like if somebody served that to you, you'd be like, "What? Why do you hate me? I don't want this. This is bad." It's kind of like that. But then when you start mixing it into stuff, it gets pretty good. So, all right. Pine liqueur. I'll send you that guy.
Pine cone liqueur.
Pine cone. Let me see if I can find it real quick so I can get, because I'm sure there's going to be people reaching out to me to be like, "Hey, what pine liqueur are you talking about there?"
You sponsored by this, guys?
Nope, not no. I'm sponsored by our good pals at Bin Holiday Bourbon. The Holiday Distillery. Zerbin's is the one. Stone Pine Liquor of the Alps. That is what I have. I have had this bottle for quite some time. I bought it once. I have then just mixed it into everything because a little goes a long way. But highly, highly recommend there. So
you're just all right words as far as I'm concerned. So sounds good.
Umlauts, Zerbin's, Bin Holiday. Thanks everybody for listening to 21 Questions. Really appreciate everybody sticking around here, enjoying this one. Stay tuned to KCSN. Yeah, GC may be over, but we're gonna keep doing this. This is gonna be the kind of off-season content we get to build. We're born in this fire, so we get to do this a little bit more moving forward.
Speak for yourself, Craig. I'm signing off after this season.
No, it's just going to be like, I think I need to do 21 questions again. Hey, Dirk, do you want to do 21 questions with me? Yeah, sure. So, all right.
Always down to do it, buddy.
Always down to do it with you as well, buddy. I'm Craig Stout. That is his Dirkness. I pointed the right way that time. Thank you all so much for listening. It is, right? Thank you all so much for listening, enjoying, watching, staying tuned to KCSN. We love you. Be kind to each other, and we will catch you later.